We are the worst at self-compassion. We are the worst. How in the world are we going to help our clients to accept themselves and have self-compassion for themselves if we struggle with that crap ourselves? Am I speaking in tongues yet? Come on, you guys. Is this true? Practice self-compassion. Love yourself, love others. This is I don't care what political values you have. I don't care what religious values you have. I don't care. If I don't love you as a human being, I've lost the point as a clinician. Right? I'm getting exhausted up here, guys. I need my coffee or another selfie. Mark of authenticity. I've been going back and forth about this. I've been studying about authenticity. We talk about authenticity as if we know what the heck this is. We don't. But I'm going to try my best to kind of give you some things that I think authentic people are. Authentic people are self-reflective. They are courageous enough. They're brave to look at themselves, even the dark parts of themselves that feels uncomfortable to look at. They allow themselves to go, oh, okay, that does not feel good to look at. Does not feel good to hear from a close friend. You're reflecting a part of myself that is ugly, but you know what? I'm going to reflect. They're self-reflective. They are consistent. I try to be consistent as much as possible. Whatever you see on social media is what you're going to get. My students know that, my friends know that, my family knows that. Well, I don't know about my sisters, but they all know. There is no questioning what my energy is. No questioning. Authentic people are at that place. Now, I'm still trying to figure what authenticity is for myself. If you're trying to discover that for yourself, it's beautiful, it's great. Just get to that journey. Just keep walking, just keep discovering. Very much consistent. True to their values and convictions. This is so vital to do and so difficult to do in this day and age where you are forced to change your values and conviction based on how people perceive you, what you're trying to get from other people. The next thing is transparent. They're transparent. Now, I go back to the legal and ethics. Every time I put transparent up there, they're like, what the heck does transparency mean? You know, you can't be transparent with their client. Okay, I'm not talking about self-disclosure. I'm talking about transparency. I cried with my clients a few times doing grief. I found this out. In 2014, my mom passed away suddenly, and she was planning my birthday. She passed away. 2 weeks later, I'm burying her. So I'm like, in my lifetime, my mom told me that she was happy she could die. I made it in life. I'm not in jail. I made it through high school. Okay? I got 2 businesses. I'm a professor. I did all of these things. She was proud, and she actually said, I can go now. I can die. I'm like, what the heck, Mom? Why are you saying that? Like, I've done my duty. We got nothing between us. We're good. We're all good. I could not tell you how powerful those words were during her death. In her death, I found my life. And I found my courage to be who I am. No joke. Once I discovered that, my businesses started soaring. I started getting invited to speaking engagement just because I found myself, unfortunately through her death, but because she gave me life, I also gave her life in another way. I actually gave the green light. Okay, this is going to be a little heavy, but I think you can bear with me. I gave the green light to the doctors to turn off her life support. But I felt at peace as much as I could at that time. Now, when my clients, I remember during that time, like, I'm good. Even my sisters were like, wow, you didn't shed a tear. I'm like, I know, I'm good. I saw, mom said she was good. She passed away. And then a client came in with grieving. 4 weeks later, I was like, I'm good. I can take on this client. Holy crap. You know, when they talk about the whole projection, all of the powerful emotions that you keep, I literally lost it in 5 minutes. As soon as my client started talking about her grief, I lost it. I had no idea I wasn't dealing with the grief. And I was like, ooh, this psychology stuff, I should have known. With all my training, I should have known. But I was transparent. She actually said that me shedding, I didn't tell her about my situation, but her seeing me shed tears was healing for her, because I didn't say things like, oh, it was God's plan. Oh, I know, it's disgusting, right? Oh, God takes the first angels that he loves. I'm like, what the heck, God? Seriously? You know, when people pass away, they say things that they don't, you know, they mean well, right? But when you experience it, you go, what the hell? No. But to her, she said, wow, that was the first time a therapist actually wept in front of me like that. Thank you. But little does she know, she activated something in me that I could not stop. And what am I going to do? Hey, can we stop? Because I'm going to go crazy right now. You need to go. Here's your money back. I'm not going to do that. So I stood there holding onto my seat, sobbing, and I'm like, I was staying as present as I could, but the memories and the emotion and the physical started surging through my body. And then after the session, I was like, you know, I got a colleague who is much more equipped to help you. I was like, oh, but I like you. Like, oh crap, I'm screwed. So in that time, I was doing my therapy about 3 times a week during that time, just to help the process, because she said she was connected to me. So I had to make an ethical decision at that point to take care of myself, to work on my grief by simultaneously working with this client's grief as well. Oh, it was the most expensive therapy that I ever. 3 times a week, out of pocket, no insurance. That gets pretty expensive in California. But I made it through. I hope you guys are okay me telling that story. I'm okay now. Thank you so much for letting me to be real and authentic with you. I'm going to talk about messaging. I want to look at the time. 11:07. How much? Because I can talk all day. 20 minutes. Okay, I got 20 minutes. One of the things that is really powerful that I notice in the mental health profession, as I'm working from a humanistic perspective in working with my clients, and I teach psychopathology at the Marriage and Family Therapy program. How many marriage and family therapists here? Yes! Sorry guys, I just get excited for marriage and family therapists. I notice as I'm working or teaching psychopathology that, and I'm working from a humanistic perspective. There's a dichotomy going on, right? There's a conflict within me about the training that I have and what I'm teaching my students. So I kind of do a hybrid. Here's what the DSM tells you, and I'm going to be teaching another class to tell you this way. This is how, if it weren't for insurance, I wouldn't be teaching psychopathology. But that's how it goes. A lot of times, you want to look at this, okay, in your messaging. Look at the language that you use. See if it's pathologizing your population, because it's hard for us to read a blog, a website, listen to a video, watch a video that only talks about what's wrong with us. Okay? Unconsciously, we've learned that throughout time. Okay, this is what I have, help me and fix me, right? What if you start with a strength-based and non-pathologizing language and words? Let me just give an example. A couple on the verge of divorce, a couple who is not intimate, okay, pathologizing what's wrong with them. How about if your message is like this? If you are a couple and you desire to be together, you have dreams, you love each other, but some sort of a traumatic incident got in the way of your relationship. This is what I do to help you, okay? You start with the strength of the couple, that deep down inside they still want some connection, and then you talk a little bit about the event or a situation or traumatic event that have kept them from being that. You start with the positives. You talk about something that got in the way of their relationship. Here's what a pathologizing statement looks like. If you are struggling with depression and anxiety, if you are depressed, if you are suicidal, if you have ADHD, if you have bipolar disorder, I can help you. Call me, 1-800, I'm a badass. Pathologizing, problems, and all about me. Right? And we don't notice these messages that we're sending out. Read your website, read your copy, read your brochures, read your business cards. Look at that. Unconsciously, when people look at that, they go, okay. And then they go into sessions, they're focused on that. Parents, let me talk to you real quick. If you're reading, okay, let me back up. If you're looking for a therapist, would you want